Welcome, everyone. Today, you are about to hear the real story behind one of the most powerful names in the world of speed. This is not just a story about cars. This is not just a story about business. This is the story of a human being who refused to accept an ordinary life. It is a story of obsession, discipline, pride, failure, and relentless ambition. And as you listen, you will also improve your English. I will tell this story in clear, simple, natural sentences so you can learn vocabulary, understand real-life expressions, and train your listening skills at the same time. So stay with me until the end. Let's begin. Early 1900s, in the country of Italy, life was simple but not easy. Most families worked very hard just to survive. Money was limited. Opportunities were few. Dreams were often small because survival came first. In this environment, a boy was born in 1898. His name was Enzo Ferrari. He was born in a small city called Modena. His family was not rich. They were not powerful. They were ordinary people. But inside Enzo, there was something extraordinary. He had a hunger for something bigger than his surroundings. When Enzo was still a young boy, his father took him to watch a car race. That moment changed his life forever. Imagine a small child standing in a noisy crowd. The air is full of dust. The engines roar like wild animals. The ground shakes as the cars rush past. People scream with excitement. The smell of fuel fills the air. The speed feels almost dangerous. For Enzo, it was not just a race. It was a feeling. It was electricity in his veins. Something inside him woke up. From that day, speed was not entertainment, it was purpose. But dreams are easy. Reality is hard. Enzo did not grow up in a racing family. He did not have connections. He did not have money. Then tragedy struck. World War I arrived. His father died. His brother died. Enzo was young and already carrying grief and responsibility. Many people would have given up on their dreams. But sometimes pain does not destroy you. Sometimes it sharpens you. After the war, Enzo searched for work in the automobile industry. He was rejected at first. Even a major company did not hire him. But he did not stop. Eventually, he found work as a test driver and later became connected with Alfa Romeo. There, he began racing professionally. Enzo was not the greatest driver in the world. He won some races, but he was not a legend behind the wheel. And this is an important lesson. Not being the best at one role does not mean you cannot become great in another. Enzo realized something powerful. His true strength was not only driving, it was building, organizing, leading, creating systems. He understood racing from the inside. He studied engines, he observed mechanics, he analyzed drivers, he learned how teams win and how they lose. In 1929, he founded a racing team called Scuderia Ferrari. At first, this team did not build its own cars. It prepared and managed race cars for Alfa Romeo. But Enzo treated it like a laboratory of excellence. Every detail mattered. Engine tuning, weight balance, strategy, driver psychology. He demanded perfection. Slowly, the name Ferrari began to gain respect in the racing world. During this period, Enzo adopted a symbol that would later become world famous, the prancing horse. The symbol originally belonged to a World War I pilot named Francesco Baracca. Enzo added a yellow background to represent his hometown, Modena. The horse symbolized power, motion, and pride. As time passed, tension grew between Enzo and Alfa Romeo. Enzo wanted independence. He wanted control over racing decisions. In 1939, he left Alfa Romeo and founded his own company. At first, due to legal restrictions, he could not use his own name on the cars, but he remained patient. Then World War II disrupted everything. Factories were damaged, racing stopped, resources were limited. Enzo moved operations to Maranello, a small town that would later become the heart of Ferrari. After the war ended in 1947, the first official Ferrari car was born, the 125S. It had a powerful V12 engine. The first race ended in mechanical failure. Many would call it a disaster. Enzo called it a promising failure. Soon after, the car began winning races. The Ferrari name started to shine. In 1950, a new era of motorsport began with the first season of the Formula One World Championship. Ferrari was there from the beginning. In 1952, Ferrari won its first championship with driver Alberto Ascari. That victory proved Ferrari belonged at the top. Racing in the 1950s and 1960s was extremely dangerous. Drivers risked their lives every time they competed. Ferrari experienced both glory and tragedy. Some drivers lost their lives. Enzo rarely showed emotion publicly, but inside, every loss affected him. In the early 1960s, financial pressure increased. Racing was expensive. The American company, Ford Motor Company, tried to buy Ferrari. Negotiations almost succeeded, but when Enzo realized he would lose control over racing decisions, he refused the deal. For him, racing was not business, it was identity. Ford reacted by trying to defeat Ferrari at the famous endurance race, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. In 1966, Ford won. It was painful for Ferrari, but the rivalry pushed both companies to innovate and improve. Throughout the years, Ferrari built iconic road cars, such as the Ferrari 250 GTO. Production was limited, exclusivity became part of the brand. Ferrari cars were not built for comfort, they were built for performance. In 1969, Fiat purchased a major share of Ferrari. This provided financial stability while allowing Enzo to keep control of racing operations. It was a strategic decision to protect the future. The 1970s brought both victory and drama. In 1976, Ferrari driver Niki Lauda suffered a horrific accident at the Nürburgring. His car caught fire. He suffered severe burns. Many believed he would never race again, but just weeks later he returned to competition. That comeback became one of the greatest stories in sports history. Ferrari stood behind him. The world saw the true spirit of the team, resilience. Behind the public success, Enzo carried personal pain. His son, Alfredo Ferrari, known as Dino, had died young due to illness. This loss changed Enzo deeply. Ferrari later named an engine line after Dino to honor his memory. Behind the powerful brand was a father who had suffered. As the 1980s arrived, technology changed racing. Turbo engines, aerodynamics, and electronics became critical. Ferrari adapted. The company continued competing at the highest level. In 1988, Enzo Ferrari passed away at the age of 90. But by then, Ferrari was no longer just a company. It was a symbol of discipline over comfort, performance over popularity, identity over compromise. Today, Ferrari remains the only team that has competed continuously in Formula One since 1950. The factory in Maranello is still the heart of the brand. The prancing horse still represents speed and pride. The red color still represents passion. The story of Ferrari teaches us powerful lessons. Life may start small. Pain will come. Failure will come. Competition will try to defeat you. But if you protect your identity, if you refuse to become ordinary, if you treat every failure as a lesson, you can build something that outlives you.